Hello, good evening, welcome. It's the International Racing Series Tier 1 Race 11 live from, well, not really from Singapore, but we'll say from Singapore. Just one race left in the season after this one. We've got a few of the big hitters missing tonight, so an interesting lineup. We'll have to see how everyone gets on. Of course, Singapore, you can see there, the weather's already been set to dry. I don't think we'll want any sort of wet race here, to be fair. It's hard enough in dry conditions. Everyone's just lobbying up now. I believe we've got 13 tonight, so just 3 more to join. I'm absolutely starving, so quicker they join, quicker we get going, quicker I can bang this pizza in the oven. You think tonight's quite a good opportunity actually for some people to pick up a podium, even a race win that wouldn't normally necessarily be right at the front of the pack. So definitely going to be a really interesting race to look out for, that's for sure. One of the highest downforce tracks, of course, Singapore. It's a street circuit. There's not a lot of room for error in general. There's sector 1, there's a decent bit of runoff in case you get it wrong, but there's a right-hander over the bridge going into a left-hander. You'll see that in sector 2 that is particularly bad in terms of if you get the entry to that wrong, or even the exit coming off the bridge, could be race over. Very, very short run into turn 1, as I recall, and it's a bit of a it's one of the more difficult first few corners. So we'll also see how that develops and how that affects the race. Hopefully everyone can get away clean, of course. We all want a clean race. Don't mind the odd incident, but in general you don't want to see people being dirty and stuff. Chances of a safety car here as high as any track you want to mention, because of the reasons I've previously stated. Hopefully we don't see too many of them, or we see VSCs rather than full safety cars. But we'll have to. Again, it's something we can only predict or want to happen or not happen. It's not something we can control. We still have a good 5 minutes left before qualifying starts. So just a little bit of relaxing before we get underway. It's a track you don't really want to have any traffic on when you're doing your qualifying laps, because in many sectors of this track there's nowhere to pull over to. Yeah, and it can cost you time if somebody's obviously in your way and they can't get out of the way. The last race of the season next week will be from the Yas Marina, and that is always a fantastic spectacle. It's the regular closer of the season for the International Racing Series, and there's always either controversy, great moments, you know, something. There's always something in that last race of the season. I'm surprised we've gone for a 50% race here, a little bit. There were talks earlier on in the day of a 35% race because of the numbers tonight. But 13 is still decent. That's still a decent showing. I think we've got 8 and 9 missing today, unfortunately. But that's not going to take anything away from these guys that are racing tonight. They're all going to be after that all-important pole position in qualifying, and it is massively important around here, getting pole position. And of course, they're going to want to get a podium or even a race win. Again, just waiting on these last few to get in. Here comes JTK, which is probably going to demoralise a lot of drivers. That, I might have a chance tonight, and then JTK comes in, and you're like, maybe it's just a podium that I'm going for. He's got a good opportunity tonight, JTK, in all fairness. We can take a look at the standings, and, well, I mean, you can't look at them, but I'll tell you what they are. The current standings, right now, Husky is leading the championship. JTK is 39 points behind. If he can get a race win tonight, pick up 25 points, he's got a chance. He's got a real chance in the last race of the season. It's all on whether he can get the win tonight. I don't think they'll be worried in terms of like outside of a podium. I think that's the worst of it. But he's definitely the favourite, and obviously because there's only one more race left after this one, he's going to want to close the gap on Husky as much as possible. Husky looking for that first championship win, and he's been phenomenal all season. He's at a Formula One event tonight, which is why he's not racing. So yeah, big chance for JTK. If he can get 25 points, all right, he's still going to be he's still going to be like 14 points behind, but it's still, that's not impossible for JTK. And also because there's the fast lap as well. He could be looking to get that could make a big difference. So he's certainly got a chance here of putting himself in a position where he can defend his title. We know he's a multiple time, I think 3 times in a row now. He's done the 3-peat. He's after 4 now, and it's not impossible. As I say, he's within the points range to do it, but he's going to need a really good race tonight, and he's going to need the perfect race next week. I think this is going to be the first time in at least 5 seasons that Connor is not going to be within championship winning distance going into the last race of the season, which might surprise a lot of the regular viewers, but yeah, not this season. Just a couple of people having the game crash So I guess we have to just keep an eye out for that with others too. We don't really want people disconnecting, obviously. Waiting for them to get back in the lobby. There's Merlino. I don't know who the other one was. I think it was actually Polish Hammer that got kicked as well. So yeah, just waiting on Polish Hammer and we'll be ready to go. Unfortunately, Polish Hammer's settings are all gone back to default, so he's just quickly make sure he's got that right camera angle or whatever. And he'll be jumping straight in. It's a technical issue, nothing to worry about really. We're just waiting for qualifying to get underway, aren't we? Come on. But yeah, not going to rush him. If his settings are wrong, his camera angle and stuff, he's got to get that changed. I won't say like go and get loads of setups. Singapore is pretty easy, anywhere between 46 and 50 downforce on the wings, and you're probably good to go. It's not overly complicated, Singapore. It's high downforce. It's up there with like Hungary and your Monaco in terms of what downforce you want to be using. Just pour myself a little drink while I'm waiting. But the camera settings are probably more important. Not necessarily the telemetry, what he's got on screen, or his on-screen display, but more the angle. It's really, really rough if you've not personalised it to your view. It's not like he's playing offline against a 40 AI or something. You need to have everything right for you. I think they're saying he's going to come in during qualifying. Yeah, he's gonna. I assume he's going to come in during qualifying. Obviously we can't hold the whole lobby up. There's a little one tonight. Everybody in the lobby, apart from JTK, has yet to win this season. So there might be a bit of conspiracy going on here, just to smash JTK out. He's going to want to obviously win the race, not just for the personal pride and whatever. He's in a championship fight still, so he wants to win, close that gap, and give himself the best opportunity. at Abu Dhabi. But we're definitely going to see some new podium sitters tonight, and we'll see what everyone can do. Get the track map on and the lap data. I'm just doing sorting the setups out before they go out for their run. Parc ferme in effect, which essentially means once you start your first qualifying run, you're only able to change the angle of the front wing, and that's about it really. You know, there's other things, but that's the main one. So you don't want to get your setup wrong before you go out for qualifying, because that's it. You're locked in for qualifying and the race. We see Bubbly's out first in the Williams, filling in for Connor, I believe. It's Polish Hammer, as he's made it in literally the very start of qualifying, so no problem there. He will have lost no time at all, really. Still got time for three runs. You see the Ferrari going through. That's JTK. He is not messing about. It looks like he's going to be the first one to put a lap in. So look at that. No tyre walk. Well, he's warming his tyres up just by going at a decent speed, which is an absolutely yes in terms of. It's an absolute yes in terms of is that a viable strategy? Yeah, definitely in qualifying. Can't do it while you're behind a safety car. Obviously, you're gonna have to warm your tyres up other ways, like weaving, braking, and accelerating, whatever. But you can just take your outlap like it's a regular lap and warm your tyres up. Generally, that works. There we go. Then round the final corner here for JTK. About to start the first fast lap of the evening. You see, very much using all of the track. There's turn 1, 2 and 3, as you can see, very awkward, and that's going to, I assume, cause a bit of bother on the first lap. I think he'll be uber confident tonight, JTK. You're not running too wide there. There is a lot of runoff, but you can invalidate, and it's easier than you think to pick up penalties for track limits here in Singapore. You see JTK just the right side of getting a track limit here on his fast lap, which would actually be an invalidation, and it would wipe his qualifying time. He's looking alright so far. It's going to be a strong time, we know this. It's JTK. There's even a possibility that this time is going to be the fastest you'll see. So 1:25.9, that is a good lap. Bubbly's about to come over the line. Let's have a look then. A 1:28.7, but that's on the medium tyres. So you'll see some drivers do this, even though medium tyres aren't the optimal tyre for qualifying, as Kurt puts in a 1:28.7. Invade's about to come around to finish his lap 2, 1:27.4. Currently second position. Let's get on from one. Polish Hammer's about to start a fast lap, so we'll stick with him for now. But yeah, you'll see people coming out on the medium tyre. It's to just get a feel of the setup, make sure we've got everything spot on. As I say, Parc ferme is in effect, but there are slight changes you can make. And it's basically another warm-up lap. Now, what that does do is that leaves you with one less fresh set of mediums for the race. But those mediums are only going to be like 3 laps old, and only one of those laps is an actual fast lap. You can sort of get away with it, and it's not a bad idea. I see a lot of the pro drivers doing it on their first run. You'll also see them do it on intermediate tyres too, in the dry. We've got Blue Goggy on a 1:26.6 currently in second position. A lot of people will be finishing their fast laps at any moment now. JTK back in the pits already. That's a decent lap there from Polish Hammer, 1:27.3. Currently good enough for third position. Just in front of his teammate. Outlaw, I believe, is just on 1:28.7. Let's quickly hop up to DMB Super Skills, who's just started his first fast lap of the evening. Say this evening could be a real opportunity for Pink here. I think that was Blue Goggy moving out of the way in the Mercedes there. He's done alright, he's moved out of the way, but I think DMB might have a little... I don't think he'll put a ticket in, but he's probably entitled to a little complaint there. It's like, you're not indicating where you're going, so I've had to slow down a little bit earlier. A bit of a lock-up coming out of the bridge there. And looking like a smooth lap. It doesn't look like it's the fastest lap we're going to see, but it's very smooth, and that's good to start with actually. And tight street circuits like this, it's definitely good. Get that first lap under your belt, get a bit of confidence, and then you can start pushing it a little bit more. That's a 1:29.2, which is currently 10th. Let's get on board with Pink Washed Eye then, who actually, as I said, should be looking maybe not at JGK, but certainly from his perspective, I'd say second place is definitely on. And you've got Husky, Connor, Sam, and others missing. It does give you a big opportunity, and it's a 1:27.0, so 4 tenths behind Blue Goggy, who's actually putting a really good lap. The Donster's on an outlap. It's the assistant to the regional manager, the main man himself. Well, not the main man, the second man actually. Fan favourite, the Donster. We'll never ever forget that race win at Hungary. That's for sure. Absolute carnage on that last lap, and the Donster just went through, took the race win. It was amazing. It was brilliant. If you've seen that race, if you saw it when it was streamed, you'll know. If you didn't, I don't know if it's still on the channel or as a past video. It might be worth looking at. But yeah, it was absolute carnage on the last lap, and the Donster just went through, took the race win. I think it was between teammates as well. As I remember, it was Connor and somebody else. I can't remember who was the other driver. Safe to say, certain people were unhappy after that race, but not the Donster. He was very happy. Recent podium for him as well, so in good form. You see those little micro adjustments on the steering wheel They are going to hinder you a little bit. He's not used any ERS this lap, which is interesting. I think he's going to do... That's not his actual fast lap. I think this is going to be his fast lap. He's burning off as much fuel as possible, which is a very, very viable strategy, and could work out for him. Most people... Oh, not when you're suffering a little bit from oversteer there. So his lap with no ERS was a 1:27.7, which is just behind his teammate, the Bossman, hella high. But yeah, he's going to have to come back in and try that again. Let's get back on board with JTK then, who we're going to see momentarily start another fast lap. Of course, Singapore different these days. No like bridge section. A much quicker lap. Taking a good 12-13 seconds out of the lap time. And I understand it encourages overtaking, but still really difficult to overtake it around here. This is where you could possibly overtake because there's DRS. And maybe on the start finish straight, but there's not a lot of, you know, really relying on other people's mistakes and your pit strategy. One lap of undercut here will be worth at least 3 seconds. So strategy all important, and of course because of the difficulty of overtaking, anticipating possible safety cars is certainly something that's very difficult to do, and there's a lot of luck involved, but it's certainly something that comes into play. So Invaders retired from the session with a 1:27.4. As we see on the left hand side, just behind his teammate, currently running 6th position. You can imagine that's not going to last forever. And JTK is putting a 1:25.8. Blue Gog is putting a 1:26.2 there. So it's very much a 2-car race for the pole position here. Just 4 tenths in it. Oh, and there's Leg Trader just having a little kiss with the wall. Oh, and he's well, that's not what you want in qualifying. Obviously in real life it's a red flag and Leg Trader's being taken to hospital. But this is not real life, this is Formula 1, and all that happens is he's going to be put into the pit lane and his session will be over. So currently is Merlino only on a fast lap. Currently with a 1:29.5. A lot of room to improve. Oh, just turned in a little bit too early there and has lost all momentum coming out of the left-hander, and that is going to cost quite a bit of time. We'll check the time at the end of the lap, but I think that's going to be a costly mistake. Went too early. I understand you want to turn in early, so you're not worried about the wall on the outside, but still a big improvement up to 9th, but still I'd say he lost at least 3 or 4 tenths there, so could be looking further up the grid, that's for sure. We've got Kurt now out on soft tyres, as we see there you go, the best lap by Bubbly was on the softs. Kurt already done 1 lap on the softs. Now we'll have to wait for Bubbly to come back out and see what sort. Well, there's a lot of pressure. He's down in 11th place. Only time for 1 more run. as Kurt starts his probably second to last flying lap. It depends. Probably got the fuel low to go another, but you see, using all that ERS possible. If you're going to make a mistake, probably make it early in the lap, then you can at least recharge your battery and go again. But it's definitely that time in the qualifying session where you put it all on the line, you get as close to the wall as you possibly can, and there's no point leaving anything out there on the track and being disappointed. You've got to just go for it fully. As you can see, Kurt looking decent there. Let's see how he turns in. Very nice. Look at the momentum out of the corner in comparison to what Molino had or didn't have because of that mistake. You would expect that this is going to be an improvement. It's a 1:28.1, that's good enough for 9th position. So, definite improvement. That's going to be the qualifying session over, I would think. Here comes Outlaw, currently about a 10th up, going into Sector 3. Will be good enough to move up a position. Needs a really a good Sector 3 to move into 10th position. But, as long as you're improving your lap times, on a personal level, you've got to be happy with that. So 1:28.4, currently 11th position. I think Blue Gog is going to be it's Pink Wash Eye going to be the last one round, so just keep an eye on that. Let's see what the boss man's up to. Currently running 4th with a 1:27.1, which is a very good time. A very good possibility of keeping this on the second row of the grid. Going to need a lot to get on that front row. Check the split time. It's about 3/4 of the way down this straight. So keep an eye out. Top right hand corner. We'll see. Currently running just 200 slower than his current time. So a good Sector 3 and can still make some moves here. Pink Washed Eye definitely under pressure. If he can pull out a 10th, then he's up to 3rd position. Nice and smooth. Yeah, up to 3rd position. So back to you, Pink, who's actually the last one out. So the Donster's moved up to 3rd with a 1:26.7. That's a quick lap. That's a quick time. Only one driver though, gone sub 1:26, and that's JTK. We're not surprised about that. Again, check the split times, and we'll see what Pink Washed Eye is managing to do. He's got Blue Goggy just in front, and just in front of him is JTK. So time's going to be coming in thick and fast here. Bubbly with a 1:27.6 manages to get up to 8th position. JTK with a 1:25.5, another improvement. We'll be able to see that on his screen, but he's got to concentrate on his own lap. And that's a 1:25.9 up into 2nd position. That's a very good time. And we'll see him on the front row, as I mentioned, should be on there. Kurt, I don't think he was able to improve by enough to pick up extra positions. No, we'll be starting in 10th. Well, that's all good. Yeah, we'll be able to see that is the end of qualifying, and there's your times. So it's JTK and Pink on the front row of the grid, followed by Blue Goggy and the Donster. Hella High on the 3rd row of the grid with Polish Hammer, followed by Invade and Bubbly. Rounding out the top 10 will be Leg Schrader with that quite heavy crash we saw, and Kurt. And then following that, we've got Molino, Outlaw, and DNB. And that was the full grid. Pretty sure we're going to see some safety cars tonight. So everybody will be selecting their strategy and their fuel load. I think because of the potential for safety cars, the fuel consumption here will be relatively low. But it's a risk you take. You're gambling on a safety car, maybe. We'll have to see what everyone does. Good clean qualifying session though. It's always nice to see. Nobody getting in each other's way, which can happen on these street circuits. Here we go then. Formation lap. And tyres will be getting warmed up here. Let's check the tyres then. So, mediums all round, aside from 3, that's Blue Goggy, who's going to start on hard tyre, Bubbly and Outlaw, who both will be starting on hard tyre as well. As regular viewers to the stream will know, I'm a big fan of starting on the medium tyre because I think it gives you more flexibility in your strategy, especially if there's a safety car quite early. But we'll have to see how it pans out. I do think the medium tyre was the correct one to go on here. I'd even probably say soft tyre before going on a hard tyre. If you've got a fresh set of softs, I think that might be more worthwhile to you than a hard tyre. You're able to make up positions. It is the faster tyre. Yeah, it'll run out sooner, but there's probably going to be a safety car, so you can just pit in anyway. As your one scheduled stop. So soft tyre, even though nobody's chosen it, is probably, in my opinion, probably more of a viable option than the hard tyre. So around the final corner then, we've got Invade and Heller both. You see they've been disqualified. That doesn't mean they're out of the race. We'll put them a bit further back in the grid box, that's all. You see the gap that Heller had there, and look how close the rest get to the front of their grid box where they start from. You see it moved Pink back there. He just overshot his mark there, just ever so slightly. So the lights are out and we're underway. And it's a good start from JTK. Blue Goggy's going to be putting the pressure on, I would assume. No, he's went for the safe start. You see both Mercedes and both Saubers having a massive battle there for 4th position. The Dumpster getting away really nicely. We'll have DRS from lap 2. I think everybody got away pretty cleanly there. I didn't see anything major. We'll just check. I don't think anybody got any damage there, so that's good. That's good to see. Although Molino has gone into the wall and so has Bubbly. First big incident of the evening. It is on lap 1. You do see that, and we can check. Looks like no damage from Molino or Bubbly, so that's good at least. Let's go down to the Donster in 4th. You see, trying to stay on the back of Blue Goggy because he's going to need the DRS. He doesn't want to be under pressure from his teammate. pink washed eye is going to really need to stay right as close to JTK as possible on any sort of mistake. Take full advantage. It's going to be difficult, we know this. JTK is a phenomenal driver, but I think that's the way you do it. I think that's the way you win the race. The DRS enabled, we will see it after the right-hander here. You see the rear wing open, allows some more airflow, less drag and faster speeds. You have to be within a second of the car in front. There's a detection line. If you look on the track map on the right hand side, you'll see the green circles. That's where DRS is detected. So going over that point of the circuit, you've got to be within a second. Of course, if you're in first position, you do have a disadvantage because you can't be within a second of anyone in front unless you're lapping them. And you don't get DRS, which means second position is really good. What you don't want to be is in the pack here. Let's just say, let's use the Donster as an example. We've got a VSC out, and that's problems for Leg Schrader, I believe. So the Donster's 3 seconds back on, almost 4 now, on Blue Goggy. So it won't pick any DRS. And we'll have cars directly behind him with DRS. Even worse of a position to be in, as we ride on board with him, is where Polish Hammer is. And Kurt's got a drive-through penalty there, speeding under the VSC, as we're back under racing conditions. But let's take Polish Hammer for example. So he's going to get DRS. However, the car in front, hella high, is also going to get DRS. So that negates any advantage that he might well have. And then the car in front of Hella that doesn't have DRS is too far in front for him to make a move on it. So you're kind of stuck. And that's how you end up with a DRS train, because then you've got, as you can see here, Invade just behind. So he's the third car with DRS. He's fourth in the train, and it's going to be really difficult for him to make a pass. The Donster could help his teammate out here and keep Hella within that 1 second range. But at some point, if the Donster is a lot quicker, he has to think about his own race. So the front three here, all within a second of the car in front. Well, two of the front three. Obviously, JTK is not within a second of anyone. He's leading the race. So all three of these guys are going to have DRS, and you'll see the problem that Blue Goggy has. I think he was within a second when he went over the detection line. He's just over a second out now. Even if he is within DRS range, he's going to have a big problem with passing, being third in the train and the second car with DRS. Doesn't have it at the moment though. Only Pink Washed Eye has it. Go further back, we see Polish Hammer right on the back of Hella. Once again, that DRS is not working in his favour, because Hella's getting a really good tow here from the car in front, which is his teammate, the Donster. They do some really heavy defending, and Outlaw is out of the race. That is a full safety car, and this is what I mean by putting on the hard tyres. So medium runners have got the option. I think it's a bit early to think about going the whole length of the race with the hard tyre. But they could do if they wanted, or if they felt that the tyres would last. What they cannot do, what you cannot do, is go from a hard tyre right now onto a medium tyre and expect the tyre to last the rest of the race. Leg Schrader has also retired. He's retired in the pit lane. It won't make a difference because there's already safety car out. What we don't want to see right now, as yeah, Blue Goggy's gone through. He's on the hard tyre, can't pit in. It's too early. What we don't want to see, as Hella's stayed out because he doesn't want to double stack with his teammate. We don't want to see people getting penalties for speeding in the pit lane. One of the things that really annoys me is people getting penalties for speeding in the pit lane or speeding under either a safety or virtual safety. But speeding in the pit lane, you get a 10-second penalty. Why not just slow down a little bit earlier and lose 0.2 of a second rather than 10 seconds? That also gets me a collision under the safety car when you've got 10 car lengths to play with. You can, as long as you're within 10 car lengths of the car in front, you can back off a little bit, and if they slam on trying to warm the tyres up, it gives you time to react. Whereas if you're right on the back of them, you haven't got that reaction time, and you're going to probably end up damaging your front wing, and you might even get a penalty for damaging the car, or for the collision, should I say. I think we'll get a couple of laps of safety car by the looks of things. It's going to take a little while for everybody to catch up to the back of the pack. As I've said before, this is a simulation of Formula 1. It's not actually real Formula 1, so there's no like waiting behind the safety car for the track to be cleared. It's more about getting everybody in line behind the safety car. And then it'll probably pull into the pits. I think Hella's been unlucky. He didn't want to double stack, and I understand that. But the fact of the matter is, he's on medium tyres, and they're 5 laps old, so he's going to... I think either way, he's going to lose a lot of positions when he pits in. As we've had 2 drivers retire from the race, you will have a massive opportunity to score points if you can just finish. So expect at least one more to DNF. So just race your own race, basically. Don't be too worried about those around you. And I think it's a good strategy in general to have. Obviously you need some sort of pace, but if you can finish a race, there's a good chance you finish in the points, because of you stay out of trouble, and then everything around you goes on, and you just stay out of the way and do your own thing. We'll have to see though. There we go then. Blue Goggy back in the pack up. Safety car is coming in. He's gone, and he's not really caught anyone out. Merlino has taken the first track limit penalty there. Hella ran a bit wide. JTK is trying to go down the outside, not overly exerting himself here. He knows the 2 cars in front have yet to pit. He's on a harder tyre. On lap 7 of 31. Possibilities maybe that we could see the cars on harder tyres, if there's no more safety cars, go the rest of the race. you see now JTK really putting on the pressure. He's got the inside line. Yep, he's managed to get through there on Heller. Those fresh tyres are going to be, even though Heller's mediums won't have fallen off yet, a fresh hard tyre will outperform a used medium tyre. Pink washed eye with 3 seconds for multiple track limit warnings. That's a massive blow to his chances of a race win. Polish Hammer and the Donster here side by side, battling for 5th position. The Donster has the advantage. Invade going through there on DNB into 7th position. It's all heating up. You can see from 1st down to 6th. Everybody's going to get DRS should the gap stay the same from the next lap. You don't get the start finish straight DRS because it starts before the start of the lap, so you don't get that straight away. Heller down to 4th now. Again, those tyres are not his friend at the minute. He does have the opportunity to just take the one stop as he normally would, and he could kind of hope that those around him have to pit again. That could be good for him. Pink washed iron out, struggling to keep within a second. For JTK, who's right on the back of Bulgogi. Bulgogi had a really good qualifying session and looking to get his first win of the season, as are 9 of the other 10 drivers. Only JTK has a race win this season out of the current drivers that we've got running. And as I mentioned before qualifying started, I think Heller's moving out of the way there for his teammate. The should have probably gone through there if he could have done. JTK needs to take as many points as possible because we've only one race left after this. And even if he gets the race win and maximum points, he's still going to be like 13 points behind. More time penalties incoming. Kurt, lovely. Fastest lap from Pink Washed Eye there, 1:30.3. Running really quick, but unfortunately unable to get through, and also has that 3-second penalty, which I think will play a massive part in this race. You see Heller down into 7th. Oh, he's in the wall. And that's not only going to be a pit stop for tyres, he's going to get a wing change as well. That's going to cost him so much time. As you can see now, down into 11th. And he's at the back of the pack. Was having a fantastic race up until that point, I must say. But no, unable to take advantage of a really good qualifying. We do have a second safety car of the evening. I think it maxes out at 3, so there is that. Good news there for Blue Goggy. He can take his pit stop here if he wanted to. I still think it's a bit early. He's got to think about taking the pit stop. He's on 8-lap old hard tyres, and maybe he waits, he sees what JTK is going to do. It's too early for a medium to last the rest of the race, still. And we're saying it on lap 7, and now, certainly, still. So Blue Goggy stayed out. I think he's looking to go at least 16 laps or so on those hard tyres. And I imagine he's wanting everyone else to pit in too, which, when that first safety car came out, I think it's a reasonable assumption to think that that everyone's going to have to pit in again. We've currently got a Haas, that's Kurt, I believe, in the pit, and Heller obviously is coming to get that front wing changed. He needs to do that. He needed to pit in anyway, really. off of those mediums. So he's not really the pit stop. Okay, so hitting the walls slowed him down and it's put him to the back of the pack. But he would have had to pit it in anyway because of those medium tyres. So he's not really lost out here. Let's just check. I assume he's gone to hard tyres. Yeah, he has. So, fresh hard tyres. He could take them the rest of the race. If everyone else around him has to pit again, he's actually in a really good position. He's got a really, really good chance here. Kurt has gone onto soft tyres for some reason. I'm not sure whether that was an error in selecting his tyres, what he wanted to change in the pits. It could have been. There's a very distinct possibility that that's the case. That he just made a misclick and just put softs on. Obviously, the safety car is going to stay out another lap because still quite far back. Kurt and Heller, with them pitting in, lost time, so safety car stay out for another lap. I think it'll come in at the end of this lap. I think you'll see Heller and Kurt both catch up quite comfortably before the end of this lap. You can see Kurt already on the back, just waiting for Heller, and he'll be there in no time. Yeah, Heller's he's coming around the corner there. He's going to be fine. I'll get to the back of the pack, no problem. So it will be JTK leading off of the restart, and we'll get to see how he leads this safety car coming in. There's a tendency to go early if you can, back the pack up, but we'll see if he actually does. So he's back the pack up. Now you've got to wait until the safety car's in the pits, fully into the pit lane, and then you can start to pull away, start to accelerate. He's waiting. I'm sure he'll go about now, but he is waiting. No, he's waiting even longer, and he's gone. There you go. He's fully. He's not caught Blue Goggy at all. Blue Goggy, if anything, has had a really good restart. He's caught Pink Washed Eye out, and Polish Hammer's right on the back there. It's only the possibility of one more safety car, if I remember correctly. Okay, so don't take that as gospel. I might have remembered that wrong. There is the possibility of that. Yeah, I know. Even I get things wrong sometimes. But yeah, we'll have to see. Pink Washed Eye, what's happened there? You can see a 10-second penalty for invade for a severe collision with the Donster, but you can see Pink Washed Eye has no front wing. We've got a VSC. Let's check on invade there. His front wing seems to be fine. The Donster doesn't seem to have any damage either, so We missed that because we were just trying to figure out what happened with Pink Washed Eye. 10 seconds does seem a little harsh. You have to come in and serve that at some point, though. The penalty has been served, so you've got to come in and serve it, or get the 10 seconds at the end of the race. That is also something that's definitely, you can do if you stay out. It just adds it onto your time at the end. The IRS enabled then because it was only a VSC. Oh, the Donster has come into the pits, so definitely got damage. Oh yeah, look, front left end plate. Pink Washed Eye, 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane is, yeah. I've already made my feelings very clear on that. Yeah. I can't be more clear on what I think about when people speed in the pit lane. So we'll move on. You see Polish Hammer right on the back of Blue Goggett. Yeah, it's properly kicking off. Like, oh, I've got another VSC. I think we've had more race under safety car conditions than we've had under green flags, which is a bit mental. But yeah, it's been one of those nights, where there's been a few incidents. What can I say? I think the Donster's going to be well unhappy. So VSC ended, back under racing conditions. You see the battle here. Is that another 3 for Pink Washed Eye? 16 seconds of penalties. Picked up second position in qualifying, and will be absolutely devastated with this, and rightfully so. I don't know how much of a flex it is saying that Tier 2 is going to be cleaner. It's not really been dirty, actually, has it? It's not like people are smashing each other out. It's just been one of them, hasn't it? It is Singapore. You see these sort of things. It doesn't surprise me that there's been 2 safety cars, 3 VSCs. Pink Washed Eye will be retiring, I assume. Which will leave us with 9 drivers. So if you can finish the race here, you get at least 2 points. I think it's massive now to just try and finish this race. Polish Hammer and Blue Goggett. This is the battle we're following. It's the battle for second position, and I think this could be a really good one. No quarter given. Oh, Blue Goggett, a bit of a wobble there. Let's just quickly check the tyres once again. We don't want to forget about this. You see, Blue Goggett has been out on 14 lap old hard tyres. Whereas Polish Hammer does have just 10 laps in his. I suspect they're both going to have to pit in at some stage. If they want to finish the race, I don't see the I don't see any of these drivers' tyres lasting the full race until then. JTK now has started to put his foot down, by the way. He's got a 4-second lead and he's looking really good. And obviously we don't expect anything different. It's JTK. But yeah, he is looking supremely confident. Currently on board with Polish Hammer. Able to close the gap. He has got slightly fresher tyres. It's whether he's going to be able to get through. He's tucked in behind. He's not rushing himself, which is fair enough. You know, if you know you're going to have to pit in again anyway, yeah, you might as well just chill and make the pass when you feel it's actually really on. No point overly risking and end up DNFing. We're just about past the halfway stage of the race too, which might sound surprising, but actually, yeah, it's not really, because of all the safeties and virtual safety cars that we've seen. Again, it is expected if you're not very knowledgeable about Singapore, as Polish Hammer has gone through, but he's taken a 3-second penalty here. Blue Goggy's gone into the pits. Invader's up to 3rd. Blue Goggy is still very much in this race, especially for 2nd position. Puts the mediums on, so he's looking to go the rest of the race here, and will be on a decent set of mediums. Undercut very strong as always. I think he's got a massive advantage as well. He's one of only 2 drivers not to have picked up a time penalty, and that in itself can be massive. It can be a huge advantage. Let's see how quickly he can chase down. There's nobody within the IRS right now. Everyone's quite spread out. So we're going to get on board with Blue Goggy and see if we can do something here. Doesn't need to overly exert himself right now, knowing that everybody in front of him is going to have to pit at some point. And if they don't, their tyres are going to be absolutely wrecked by the end of the race. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's in a very, very good position. And has a really good chance of pulling out 2nd. Because of the undercut too, you might even see, there is a possibility that it gets really close to JTK, just based on the undercut, so keep an eye out for that too. Needs to absolutely be on it right now though. Doesn't need to overly risk, as I said. Doesn't need to go millimetres from each wall, but could do with catching up as quickly as he possibly can, which seems like an obvious thing to say, but and it kind of is, but it's true. He's definitely caught up pretty quickly. He's got Molino's just in front. And it's important that he does get through as early as possible. Fastest lap of the race then, gap down to 4.4 seconds. As I say, nobody within DRS range at the minute. Pack's very spread out, so we can stay on board with Blue Goggy and see how he's going to manoeuvre his way through this pack, because he is going to do. See, just in front now, gap 1.3 and closing all the time. DMB is actually very close to Bubbly. You see the race order here has really been shaken up. Only people aren't thinking of finishing the race on their current tyres. Let's try the older sets. Let's quickly take another look. Yeah, you see, Blue Goggy on pretty fresh tyres. The Donster and Heller both be able to finish on their set of tyres. Bubbly's definitely going to have to come in. And I think that those on hard tyres are going to have to come in at some point. I don't see those hard tyres lasting 12 laps. I just don't know how that's going to be possible. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, you know, and they will go that, but I just don't see it. Blue Goggy now closing in on the DMB and making it look pretty easy in the process. Just up the road there is Bubbly. DMB, don't do anything silly. Yeah, you're not really competing with Blue Goggy. He's made his stop. You don't need to overly, you know, you don't need to be silly with the defend. So up into fourth. Here's where the gap's a little bit wider. Again though, no penalties. He's actually running third right now because of penalties. Invaded 10 seconds, of course. Let's quickly go a bit further down the pack. We can see Bubbly just coming out of the pits. He's going to be running in an 8th position out of the 9. Heller is going to be close though. Both have equal amounts of penalties. Obviously, Heller with the with the older tyre, but he does have a warmed-up tyre. So, can he get close enough? Is the question. So back up to Blue Goggy, and as we can see, you see the bridge here. Such an awkward section of the circuit. It's really not nice at all. Gap to 4.3. Really, it took about 2 seconds out in just one lap. Really pushing. As I think that's Bubbly struggling there. Hopefully no safety car, because I want to see this run from Blue Goggy, because he looks like not only is he catching up to those directly in front of him, it looks like he is catching up to JTK. Bubbly's retired from session and he's out on track So now we've just got a caution in sector 2. I'm worried that there's going to be a safety car, and I don't think Blue Goggy deserves it. We might be all right though. As I hope we are. I don't want. Nobody wants to see more safety cars. We want to see this run from Blue Goggy, who's now 2.5 seconds behind Invade. With the gap, I see a possibility that JTK does stay out on the hard tyres. Now, I say, not the strategy not the optimal strategy, but I think pitting in for him now, we're putting behind Blue Goggy. We'll have to see what he does. We've got a Mercedes in the pits. I think that's Heller. No retirement. He's got to carry on. He's not retire. He's going to pick up points here. He's 4 points for 8th position. That's a good haul. Now within DRS range, Blue Goggy. You're going to see the overtake soon, I would imagine. Let's see. Not quite close enough. It's on though. Look at the traction out of the corner. Yeah, just pulls out a little bit. Oh, Invade. Little mistake there. That'll be because of the old tyres. So he's got now a 9-second gap to close down on Polish Hammer. It's actually 3 seconds less than what it says on the telemetry because of the time penalty that Polish Hammer has incurred. So this could be the difficult one in terms of being able to pass. We'll have to see. Here he goes though. There's not a lot of time left, of course. You can see we're already on lap 23 of 31. And he has been really, really hard on those medium tyres. So Polish Hammer's decided to pit in. We can see there on the screen on your right hand side, the track map. So he's in the pits. So that puts Blue Goggy 15 seconds behind JTK with 8 laps to go, well, less than 8 laps to go. If JTK pits in, Blue Goggy has won this race. If JTK stays out, then it's going to be dependent on how those tyres go for the rest of the race. Let's just keep an eye out, have another look. 19 laps on the hard tyre, 7 lap on the medium, so the medium's going to be very, very good. And you see the gap is closing. Polish Hammer's gone on soft tyres. I think it's a bit too early for that, to be honest. Unless he's just going for a fast lap, which is a possibility. We'll have to see. Still, as I say, I'm very interested to see it because gap down to 14.6, 14.5. Let's see what JTK does then. Stays out, and this is very much the Blue Goggy show right now, and whether he can make a pass or not. So gap 14.2 took about a second out in a lap there. That's not enough as it stands. But if those hard tyres do fully drop off, if they fully fall off, then there's definitely going to be some close racing towards the end. JTK has looked very, very fast all through this race, but it could come down to this and how the tyres hold on. has closed the gap once again. Less than 14 seconds now. And he is making a lot of time up in sector, well, towards the end of sector 2 and sector 3. But at what point does the Blue Goggies tyres start falling off? Well, he's gone 8 laps on them so far, so they'll be fine. I think around 13 laps on those tyres, and you'll start to see a significant drop off in performance. You can see already he's not able to match his previous times. That's not so much of a problem because of those around him, because of the gap he's got on Invade, for example, and because JTK's on the older tyre. That's not too much of a problem. However, it could well become a problem if those tyres fall off. .5 the gap, really pushing as hard as he can. Let's get the onboard camera. He is really doing a phenomenal job. It might just be too little too late, I'm afraid. Either way, no penalties. It's always massive, that. I can't overstate how important it is. If you can avoid getting penalties, it is such an advantage over everyone else. Yeah. 13.7 the gap there, just losing out a little bit. So it gets another 3 seconds. Hello will now just be fully focused on finishing the race, which is the correct thing to do. I think Blue Goggies' tyres have about peaked here. You see the performance difference between himself and JTK. Not really anything in it. Still 4 laps to go after this one. But the gap certainly too far in terms of Blue Goggy and JTK. You see he's struggling to hold on a little bit. Invade is out. So yeah, out just before the bridge. We're not going to see a safety car. It's too late in the day for that. But from running in 3rd position, stayed out on those tyres. As you see, 22 lap old hard tyres. And as DNF'd, that is massive. You see the gaps here, massive between them. But what that's also going to do is that's going to push everyone else that was behind Invade up a position, and that could be very good for the likes of Polish Hammer, who's now in a podium position at the expense of his teammate, though. That could be the worry, you know. You've made up a position. It's at the expense of your teammate, and so for the constructors, that's not going to be ideal. JTK, though, as we can see right now, is having a great time. Able to control those 22, almost 23 lap old hard tyres. And this is what I said about the advantage starting on the mediums, and a safety car comes out relatively early. If you can manage those hard tyres well, as he has done, you've got a lovely advantage, and he's making full use of that advantage. Hello's got a 10 seconds for speed in the pit lane. Again, I won't even go there. But yeah, I think he's trying to get lapped so he doesn't have to do an extra one. That could be actually a big brain play there that he's just done. JTK though, on lap 29, definitely the favourite before the race, and has put himself in a very, very good position to be within a shot going into next week, the final race of the season from Abu Dhabi. It's all now going to come down to that final race and how he handles that. Of course, we saw a lot of controversy last year, or last season, which was actually last year, is 2024, with the team orders. JTK won the championship under kind of a controversial cloud. But that's not even going to work for him this season, though. He's got to go just all out and try and win it. We'll see that next week. As we're on lap 30 now of 31. JTK has had an amazing race and obviously fully deserves this victory. Still with about a lap and a half to go though, because it's Singapore, you can't switch off and take for granted that you've got it. JTK isn't the sort of driver to do that, but with these tyres, we can just have another look. 25 lap old hard tyre. See the Dunston 17 lap old mediums, they're going to be screaming. But my point is, with tyres that old on a track like this, you're going to have to be really cautious and make sure you just really make sure you get this right. You don't want any errors this late on in the race, especially ones that are going to cost you a win or even possibly a podium. You know, you don't. Polish Hammer won't want to be binning it into a wall at this stage, or any stage really. Here comes JTK then. On to the final lap of the race. Let's get on board with him, shall we? He has an insurmountable lead. Should he be able to keep this in a straight line? Those tyres are absolutely done for. But to make them last this long, he's done a great job, and full credit to him. Here you see, he made it look. He didn't have it in all his own way. In fairness, as Hella High puts in the fastest lap of the race, and that's going to cost JTK a point, and that could be a massive point in terms of this championship. That JTK's not going to be happy about that. He's probably going to be annoyed that he's not going to get that extra point. That could be a big difference next week. He's in sector 3 now though. Next week, as I've said, it is the final race of the season. But he hasn't got to worry about that. He can celebrate his race win tonight. Another trophy to add to the collection. He's running out of space in his house, but there you see, over the line, first position. He's very happy with that. Here comes Blue Goggy then. Fireworks going off all around us. Blue Goggy crosses the line. Second position, fantastic evening for him. Oh, look at that. Polish Hammer he's sliding all over the place. That's Marino just in front, who's going to finish in 6th position. Here comes Polish Hammer then. Takes the podium. This is an actual proper battle we're seeing here. I think it's a bit too late though for DNB. He's not going to be able to catch the Donster. So the Donster takes fourth. Way! And there's Heller going over the line as well. So that's our final standings for the evening. And congratulations there on quite frankly, a phenomenal race from JTK. Was pre-race favourite, to be expected. But still, you've got to go out there and do it. And he has done that. So, full credit to him. Here he is on the top step with his trophy. Could melt them all down and sell them for scrap if he wanted to. He's got that many. He's got tons of them. Literal tons. So let's take a look at the final standings, shall we? JTK wins from Blue Goggy, and Polish Hammer takes that final podium position, largely thanks to his teammate DNFing, but still happy with that. The Donster 4th, DNB 5th, Marino 6th, Heller the final finishing car in 8th position, and the fast lap. Really good stuff there. I actually think Heller could have finished significantly higher. Not taking the double stack under the first safety car, very unlucky, and that wing damage. Yeah, that if he didn't get that and then took the, it's difficult to say. It's a good finish, 7th. He's managed, and he got the fast lap, but in another way, maybe slightly disappointed. We have to pick a driver of the day though, and I can safely say, for me, it's going to Blue Goggy. He has to be driver of the day. I think he had a really good drive. I think his strategy was pretty decent, especially considering he started on those hard tyres. Yeah, I can't. It would be easy to give it to JTK, podium and race win, but he's expected to do that. Blue Goggy making that such a good race, and just didn't quite have the tyres in the end, but definitely for me deserves a driver of the day. Anyway, that's it for this week, and back next week for the final race of the season. Same time, same place. Definitely tune into that. Don't forget, Sunday we have the Tier 2, so always a fantastic close race in Tier 2. It's called Tier 2, but it's not really. You could say that this is midweek league and that's weekend league. Always good, and yeah, congratulations to everybody that finished. Well done to Polish Hammer, by the way. First podium of his career. That is very well done. He deserves great credit for that. And yeah, that's it. I just want to say have a great week, and I will see you next week. Hopefully you tune in on Sunday as well. Thanks to Hella High for bringing me in and allowing me to commentate on the league. As always, love doing it. Even when it's not my favourite track like Singapore, I always love doing it, and it always ends up being a really great race. So, thank you. And the final thank you to you guys, the viewers. You make this league and this channel what it is, and you make my day when you drop me a comment or whatever, or you tune in. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week for the championship finale.